Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of Market Pulse. We're excited again to be with you, and we think today's issue of Market Pulse is going to be interesting to many people. And the reason why we believe that this podcast today will be very interesting is because we are now introducing a new partner that we have in Dubai. And this new partner is Santorini Real Estate Properties. And today we are delighted to be joined by Hanan, who is the co-founder of Santorini. And we also have Pascal alongside her, who's one of their top sales representatives and has been in the Middle East and Dubai a long time. So welcome, Hanan, and welcome, Pascal. How are you guys today?
Hello, good. We are all good, Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Hi, James. Good morning. We're doing great. Thank you. Hope you're doing good too.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm doing well. So let's start this podcast off, obviously, about talking about the Dubai property market, which I think, as we all know, is making headlines all around the world. It's fair to say that since COVID, the Dubai property market in particular has been really in boom mode. And, investors from all over the world have been piling into the market as they see it as, a great investment opportunity. So perhaps you guys could start by telling us what you think's driving this interest in the market and why people are particularly investing in Dubai right now.
Okay, first of all, good morning to everyone or good afternoon. I just wanted to say I've lived all my life in the UAE, and I could see how the market has become so mature. And people would want to come and invest in the UAE for a lot of reasons. Number one is capital appreciation, which is across key communities, also tax-free rental income, golden visa to all residentials, world-class infrastructure, security, which is the very important factor for everyone and all families. So there's a lot of reasons why people would want to come to Dubai, and it's full of different culture as well. So you get to know different nationalities, different culture. That's another factor for a lot of people who would want to come and invest in Dubai. Also, easy of transactions, how we are becoming so paperless, processes is becoming so transparent, efficient, and supported by a lot of technology. So that's also another reason. So there's a lot of factor people would want to come to Dubai to invest.
Pascal, do you want to add anything?
Just one point to what Hanan already said. If you compare to top cities in the world, for example, like New York, Paris, Dubai offers some of the strongest return on investments when it comes to property investments. It's a very vibrant market. The security, the nation, is one thing that, encourages lots of investors to invest in property here in Dubai. So basically, there's very high ROI when you're buying property here as compared to the top, cities in the world. Just to add to the point that Tyler made already.
Okay, thanks. So really what you're saying then is that if we compare this to other major cities in the world, you've obviously mentioned New York, Paris, we could probably compare it to London, Singapore, and Hong Kong as well. One of the things that's probably driving people to buy in the UAE is the high rental returns compared to other markets that you could invest in. So, if investors are looking for yield as well as capital appreciation, the UAE is probably one of the strongest markets in the world. And Hanan, obviously, as you kindly mentioned, you've lived in the UAE all your life. What do you think makes the UAE or Dubai in particular such a world-class city, which attracts people of all nationalities from all over the world? So, what are the key reasons you think that Dubai has been such a success?
See, Dubai, from whatever I have seen and how they have actually learned from the past market cycle, and they've implemented strong regulations to protect buyers from any risk. And that's when the market crisis happened all over the world. They've learned from that to protect the buyers from risks, frauds, and project delays by opening through Dubai Land Department an escrow account. They've learned from the past market cycle. And that's when the market crisis happened. This is where they've implemented the escrow account to protect everyone. And this is only not to only protect the buyers, it's also to have developers making sure the developers are in line with their construction milestone and things are being delivered on time. So this is what I'm talking about. Talking about Dubai, it's always in advance, thinking about everything ahead. From a medical perspective, from an education perspective, from a economy perspective. I can give you examples here. Corona, when it happened, the way things were being managed here. So there's a lot of always learning, always advance, thinking out of the box, creativity in having things more in place. And this is what I think why Dubai is different. And everyone would want to come and invest and work in Dubai and be in Dubai. And the way security is also very, very important, because when you're safe, you're able to think. So we all feel we are safe. We are in good hands. So it's very important, even with education, with medical, with everything. So this is why I feel Dubai is different, and it's like I have to say it's my country, because I have lived all my life here. I've learned it all from here, and I am Hanan because of the UAE.
Interesting. Some good points that you raised there, Hanam, because as you said, you and I both know that the UAE is obviously still a very young country. It only really started its growth in the late 70s and early 80s. And obviously, like with any young companies or countries, you're going to make a few mistakes. And I think the key points that you were highlighting there was that, the UAE or Dubai in particular would realize that in the early days of its real estate market, it made some mistakes leading up to the global financial crisis. But I think, as you said, through the wisdom of the government in the UAE, they've made sure that they've adapted the law so that people who invest in Dubai, 100% protected through the Dubai Land Department, through escrow accounts, and
Correct.
through having a tighter control of the developers. And in terms of the people who you're seeing coming into the UAE, I mean, are you still seeing a lot of people coming into the UAE because they want to set up business and make home for themselves in the UAE like you did all those years ago? So is it not just attracting tourists, but also people who want to move there from a business perspective? How do you see that in the discussions that you have with clients?
Yes, I do say that. I do see that for sure. And there's a lot of people who would want to come and set up their own business in the UAE, and that's because of all the reasons we've mentioned before. Also, I mean, any businessman would come and do a business when they know there's a return, they see future, they know that, and the country is always in advance. So for sure, this is how they think, and this is what they're thinking of, is that they want to set up these business for them to grow and earn profit. So it's definitely because of all the reasons we've already discussed. So yes, people would want to come here, set up business. There is a lot of tourists that are in the country, and by the way, there are a lot of tourists who come here, and when they come and they experience the country, they would want to come and live here. And this is where they set up business, they come find a job, or they would want to come and settle in the UAE because of the way they're being treated, because of what they see in the country, because how clean it is, because of the environment, because of the people, everything. So plus with businessmen, they can see a lot of security from a business perspective. As we talked about the tax, we talked about the capital appreciation. All these things are in place, and this is why people would want to come and actually invest in the UAE and
Yeah.
open the UAE.
Yeah, so as you say, it's interesting. So the UAE, unlike maybe sort of Spain or some of the countries in Europe, which are mostly just holiday destinations, the UAE is not only a holiday or a tourist destination, but it's a business destination as well. And since COVID, it's sort of jumped on this golden visa bandwagon as well, where it's looking to attract, the most talented people around the world, plus reasonably affluent people who might want to retire to the UAE, and they're given that opportunity through a golden visa. Can you chat a little bit about how the golden visa works from a property perspective? So for those of our listeners who might want to come to the UAE and consider taking a golden visa, what are the criteria that they would need to consider when buying a property so that they could achieve a golden visa?
Okay, so just before I jump on the golden visa, just a little bit of statistics with regards to James's earlier question about the UAE attracting only tourists, right? So in 2023, the UAE population grew about by about 300,000 people, right? So we're not talking about tourists, we're talking about 300,000 new residents. That was 2023. And if you compare that to 2022, there's around 50,000 people, like more people moved to the UAE as residents. If we're talking about tourists, it runs into millions of visitors in the UAE yearly who come to the UAE just to, have a week or two holidays. But every year we have a minimum 150,000 up to 200,000 new residents that move to Dubai. And that's why you see most of these developers, they kind of even find it hard to meet up with the demand for property, right? They're launching new projects daily, weekly, monthly, because of course there's a demand for that. If there was no demand, they would not, um, build the way that they're building. So just to add to that point. Now, with regards to the golden visa, so there are various ways that investors can take advantage of the golden visa here in Dubai. So if you're buying a property worth 2 million dirhams, right? This makes you eligible to get a 10 years golden visa. And when we're talking about the property of 2 million dirhams, it has to be at least 1 million dirhams paid. And we're talking about property which is ready. If you're buying off-plan property, yeah, you can be eligible for golden visa, but it has to be after the property is completed. Because what you see these days is people talk about the golden visa like it's just an express situation, but it's always good to clarify that for off-plan projects, the property has to be fully built and handed over before you can be eligible. Now, for a ready project, which is already completed, once you meet the criteria for eligibility, which is 2 million dirhams assets, you're eligible for a 10 years golden visa. And with the 10 years golden visa, you can open a bank account, you can sponsor your family up to 10 people. You can even sponsor your domestic aid, your driver, your help, your nannies. You can sponsor all of them under your golden visa. And they all get 10 years golden visa, which is renewable every 10 years. Of course, this comes at a little cost, but you are eligible to get a golden visa if you buy a property, which is 2 million dirhams in value. Also, you can set up a business here in Dubai easily under the golden visa rules. Sometimes it takes as much as 2 days to set up a business license here in Dubai. It's that fast. This country attracts a lot of high net worth individuals, and they value two things: time and value for money. So the UAE has made this so much so that things work in a very smooth and fast and transparent manner. Also, for those who are not buying property which is worth 2 million dirhams, if you're buying a property which is around 750,000 dirhams, okay, you can get a 2 years residency visa in Dubai, which also makes you eligible to have a bank account, set up a business, or even get a job here if you're planning to move to Dubai permanently. Hannah, you want to add something?
Yes, I just want to add to it. I mean, Pascal have explained it from property perspective, but I would say that
Yes.
even with the UAE, they appreciate they provide golden visa for other talents as well. Like it's given to investors, it's given to exceptional people who have exceptional talents, skilled professionals, scientists. Sometimes for outstanding students or graduation, so it's one kind of appreciation or motivation for people to always go out of the box, humanitarian from humanitarian pioneers, a culture and creative professional, frontline heroes. So it's actually they actually look at all these points, and they provide golden visa for such talents as well. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yes. Thanks for that, Hannah and Pascal. And I guess, as you say, all these sort of things, whether it's the golden visa, the ease of doing business in Dubai, setting up a company, what's probably driving the growth in the economy. And the growth of the economy means that obviously more people are coming to live, work, and have holidays in the UAE. And that's probably one of the key drivers which will keep the property market underpinned and growing for, probably decades to come. But I guess in terms of for anyone who doesn't really know the UAE, can you tell us a little bit about Santorini real estate? And for those who are considering, investing into Dubai, why they should go with Santorini real estate?
Okay. Now, with Santorini real estate, and let me explain to you why we called it Santorini. Santorini Island, I don't know if a lot of people know about it, is about blue and white. And blue and white is colors of transparency and honesty. And this is why we called it Santorini real estate. For us, number one is transparency and honesty with our clients, because we stand out for our clients' first philosophy. Because we're not tied up to any developer, which means we focus on having our clients served at the best way. We give the advice from even if it's because it's about a long relationship with the client. So we do handle the clients in a very, very transparent, honest, being very straightforward, giving them the proper advice from our perspective. Now, everyone has his own preference, everyone has his own idea of everything, but we act as if this is our own money that the client is investing. So we deal with the clients in a very, very honest way. And we deal with the client as well. It's for us, it's not about sell and run. It's about dealing with the client from A to Z. So until, let's say, if it's an off-plan property, we deal with him from the time he buys the property until he gets the handover of the key. And that's because we build a long relationship with the client. Plus, we can assist clients with their mortgage if they would want mortgage. So we assist them with all the phases. They want a mortgage, we try to assist them with the mortgage. They want us to assist them where should we go to furnish our apartment. We assist them with that. Who to go to manage our apartment, or if we can do it for them, we would do it for them. So we assist the client in the after purchase is complete, because we believe in a long relationship, and our goal is to make investing in Dubai very simple, transparent, profitable, have the experience by the client a very, very simple way, especially for overseas clients who are not in the country and would depend on you from A to Z, you know what I mean? And to make it a very stress-free experience. So this is why I feel Santorini is different. Plus, another point, we're looking at having exclusivity from a villa or a plot or from an apartment perspective, to have exclusive things for the clients to be able to offer it to them. And this is our plan in future, and to try to always serve to the client to the best of our knowledge. And this is why I believe Santorini is unique when it comes to services. I'm sure for everyone, I mean, maybe there are other people who are in this way, but for us, I know for a fact we are different. And plus, we also believe in quality, transparency, honesty, and very important is that when we are dealing with the client, we deal with them as if it's our own money. We are investing the money, not them. This is why we are different. That's it. Do you want to add anything, Pascal?
Okay, so I'll just say the way that we operate and the kind of agents that we bring onto our team, we are focused on excellent performance, and we go above and beyond for all our clients. Whether you're buying a property which is worth 1 million dirhams, or you're buying a property which is worth 10 million dirhams, we go above and beyond for each and every one of our clients. And like Hanan said, we believe in long-lasting relationship. Because if we give you the best service, definitely you would want to refer someone to us. And it's not the reason why we give the best service, it's just nature, right? If you go through a route and you've got a good experience going through that route, definitely you want to go that route again. And you want to also, advise people to go the same route. So we go above and beyond. I mean, if you're not working with Santorini Real Estate, who are you working with?
Yes, thank you very much for that, guys. I mean, I think that's really helpful for the audience. It gives them a complete understanding of the end-to-end service that you offer, which I think is really important for international investors. It was also interesting here to hear about the mortgage options, and I think it's important to state that not only residents in the UAE can get a mortgage, but also international clients who are looking to buy who are not in the UAE can also use mortgage finance to buy in the UAE as well. I'd just like to come back to another point that we discussed earlier, which I think is really key for investors, is can you talk to us a little bit about the different options there are for renting in the market? So here we're looking at, what would be your thoughts on long-term renting against short-term? And what is it that Santorini gets involved in, or what would be your preference, basically?
Okay, so with regards to the rental yields, right? Dubai has, an average rental yield of between 6 to 10% annually. This depends on the location, depends on the type of property, depends on the community, and some other criteria. Now, if we're talking about the prime location like Dubai Marina, you're looking at getting around 8% ROI, between 8 to 10% ROI yearly for long-term rentals. What is long-term rental? Long-term rental is you rent out your property to one tenant on a 12-month contract. So which means the price is locked down, the terms are locked down for 1 year. Okay. You can get as much as 8 to 10% ROI in a prime area like Dubai Marina. Now, if you decide to go for short-term rental, what is short-term rentals? Short-term rental is you want to use a property for Airbnb, daily, weekly, monthly, basically short stay. Now, for short stay rental in a prime location like Dubai Marina, you're looking at around 10 to 15% ROI, depending on the property type, okay, depending on how the property is managed, okay, because it's very key how you manage the property. Now, we have different people, they say different strokes, different folks, right? So some people like to go for short-term rentals, while some people like to go for long-term rentals. It all depends on what the client wants. What we do, we advise you on both the short-term and long-term rental strategies. For the long-term rental strategies, what we do is we advertise the property on one of the property portals, okay, for long-term rentals. And for me, this is much more stable in the sense that you get a client who is going to be with you for 12 months. For short-term rentals, you make a bit more money. However, you also have to bear in mind that there can be more wear and tear in the property as compared to having a property on long-term rentals. So whichever one that we advise, when we advise the clients or the investors on these two rental strategies, which are very amazing, okay, it depends on what drives them, the reason for the investment, what do they hope to achieve from the investment. Based on that, we can manage for them either they want short-term rentals or they want long-term rentals. We can manage for them the property. All they have to do is relax and get their returns on their investment, either in their account or however they want to get it. At Santorini Real Estate, we offer end-to-end service, like Hanan said in the beginning. If you're buying an off-plan property, we are with you from the first day that you sign the contract up until the property is the project is completed and the keys are handed over to you, right? And then after that, it also stop there. We also help you to, if you want us to help to furnish the property, we help you to do the furnishing. After that, we can also help you to rent your units out, whether you want to rent on short term or you want to do long term, we can help you to manage your property. We offer 360 end-to-end service. So with Santorini Real Estate, all you have to do is relax and let us take care of you. Hannah, you want to say something?
Yeah, and to enjoy hassle-free and just enjoy the investment. That's it. Because everyone would want to invest to have returns, and this is our goal. I mean, we want everyone to benefit, and as Pascal said, we do give the advices based on the preference of the client, whether it's a short term or a long term. And based on that, we wanted a hassle free for all clients and to have a passive income for them and enjoy. This is our goal.
Well, thanks a lot for that, Hanan and Pascal. I would definitely second that, having used your services in the UAE, and I'm always pleasantly surprised as to the demand in the market, which means that once you've finished your unit or it's ready to rent, the time that it takes to get it rented out compared to other markets is actually very short because of the strong demand that there is currently in the UAE. So look, it's been a real pleasure speaking to both of you today. I think this is going to be very interesting for our audience. They'll have many questions, and we can drop them our details so we can ask they can ask the questions later. But have either of you got any last thoughts before we close the podcast? Is there anything that you want to add before we sort of say goodbye?
For me, it's I've said it all. It's just that I would want to say thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talk to you, and we are here to serve everyone. And whoever has any questions, please feel free, and we definitely answer all the questions. Have a great day.
Thank you, Hanan. Pascal, any last thoughts?
For me, it's been amazing having this conversation. We are more of advisors. We're not salespeople. We don't just sell property. We are advisors, we're consultants. So we're all about addressing concerns, answering questions and making sure that we provide clarity before an investor decides to make a move to invest in Dubai. Because real estate investment is one of the most important decisions that a person will make in their lifetime, right? So we take this very seriously, and we are more than happy to answer any questions that arise from this podcast. And as usual, James, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Pascal, as well. And I think you summarized it beautifully there. I think, as you said, the key thing is to remember that we are consultants as opposed to salespeople, and ultimately we're here to help you as the client or the investor. So once again, I'd like to thank Hanan and Pascal for joining me today in Market Pulse. I'd like to also thank our audience for tuning in. If you've got any questions, please contact us via the usual channels. And I look forward to hearing from you on the next Market Pulse. So it's goodbye from me.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you, James.